Right. I'm in favor of flying things. Obviously, I do rockets, so I like things that fly. This is not some inherent bias against flying things, but there is a challenge with flying cars in that they'll be quite noisy. The wind force generated will be very high. Let's just say that if something's flying over your head, if there are a whole bunch of flying cars going all over the place, that is not an anxiety-reducing situation. You don't think to yourself, well, I feel better about today. You're thinking like, did they service their hubcap? Or is it going to come off and guillotine me as they're flying past?
Oh, you want a flying car? How about everyone around you has a flying car too? Oh, that doesn't sound so good.
Actually, let me ask you, so are you sure you want a flying car? I mean, whenever you see sort of cities in like some futuristic concept, they always throw the flying car in there. And there's some people I know that are working on flying cars or flying personal transport devices, if you will. I'm debating, like, should there be flying cars or shouldn't there be flying cars? I'm of two minds on that, because if there are flying cars, then, well, obviously you have added this additional dimension where now a car could potentially fall on your head and it will be susceptible to weather. And of course you'd have to have a flying car where it would be like an autopilot, because, otherwise, forget it. It's got to be autopilot. But even in an autopilot scenario, and even if you've got redundant motors and blades, you're still gone from near zero chance of something falling on your head to something greater than that. And there's also a noise challenge. Something that I do think would definitely help a lot in cities is more tunnels. Essentially with a flying car, you're talking about going 3D. And there's a fundamental flaw with cities where you've got dense office buildings and apartment buildings and duplexes, and they're operating on 3 dimensions, but then you go to the street and suddenly you're 2-dimensional. I think if you were to extrapolate that to cars and have more car tunnels, then you would alleviate congestion. You would not need a flying car in that case. And it would always work even if the weather's bad. It would never ice up and it would not fall on your head.